Ooh, 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 mm, yeah. Hey, hey, he. Thank y'all for joining. I've been probably humming for the past 30, 40 minutes, but I just can't. I'm kind of stuck, but I needed to start the live. He's in Charlotte, so I don't know. Head and they began to talk about manifestation. And I said, that's kind of like everywhere that's been dancing around in my head is about manifesting, but in manifesting in a different way. So when people talk about manifesting things, they're always talking about basically like the laws of attraction money, attraction a new career, or attracting someone to themselves. Um, and those things are those things can happen. And then of course, on the flip side, the bad side, there's the manifestation of bad energy, bad karma. What's happened to you? Okay, I'm sorry. I got to go back. It's here, y'all. It's here. It is here. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what it is about those notes, but it keeps ringing in my spirit right now. I don't know what is being manifested with that, but I'm gonna let spirit do what spirit do. Okay. Um, but as I was saying in tonight's talk, and I know it's late, so if you're watching, thank you for being up this late with me. Over July 4th weekend, and how they caught the guy, or rather he turned himself in, and the reporters began to ask certain questions, and they couldn't answer. The cops didn't want to answer or could not answer, because they don't want to project anything, and I get that. Um, but it was like people were looking for something wrong. Not with the guy, but with the officers. They were intentionally looking for a slip of, no, but you said this, but did you really mean this or that, or what? Now we're confused. Are you trying to cover up something? Are you trying to hide? And I got frustrated. And then on yesterday, I finally had a chance to watch Harlem, on Amazon Prime. If you have not seen that show, it is an amazing show, hands down, to the writers, to the actresses. I have always been a Megan Good fan, but I think this one, she definitely, in my opinion, stepped it up. As well as the other cast members, like I haven't seen them in that light, but there was this one episode where the lady was an actress, and she began to they were redoing a movie, and one of the cast members, who is white, began to make racial remarks, and she called her out on it. And the casting director, or the show's director rather, pulled her to the side and said, "I need you to apologize to her." And she asked why we are always apologizing when we are the ones that's being attacked. And that struck a chord with me, because Um, Growing up, there were things that other people did that I paid for. Um, and so my voice seemed limited, and I didn't use it. And sometimes, I would just say, we'll bump it. It is what it is, and I would give up. And that wasn't the thing to do. And so now, in this state, I make it a point and a purpose to use my voice, um, because in it comes change. When you don't use your voice, you're what you're saying to the space around you, what you're putting out there is that I will accept any harshness, whether it is true or not. You can lie on me. I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to break bread with it and be at ease. And that is not the way to go, because that's a backlash in the future that will happen. Then today I began to talk with another friend of mine, and he began to talk about his problems at work in a very similar situation, as this actress. And one of the things is that, I could recognize when you seem wrong and you want to do things the right way, and it's just like things are not changing. That's what a lot of people say. A lot of people say that about America. I mean, oh, America will never change, or oh, we go 6 steps up and 10 steps. Is having who really think that way. I call it that backwoods way of thinking, what have you. How can we say that we are a progressive nation if we're holding on to traditions and things that were set back in the 1800s, 1700s? Mind you, when we talk about 1800s and 1700s, we're really talking about the year of like 1660s and 1770s. We are no longer in that. America has progressed. The world has progressed since then. So why are we still holding on to things, um, and laws and rules and regulations that really don't serve us a purpose anymore? What is the point? And you can really look at that in your life. And what are you holding on to that you need to let go, because it's not serving you anything. And I know I often talk about letting go all the time, but in order for you to manifest a change or manifest something new, you have to let something go. You have to let old things go, because how can I'm gonna take the simplest things. Look at your wardrobe. The clothing that you wore when you were a kid, you cannot wear right now. Now imagine, just imagine, if you had to wear what you wore as a newborn baby. You're in over the years, whether you were thin, whether you were muscular. Just think about you wearing your toddler suit, the onesies. Everybody had at least one onesie. And if you didn't, you had a pamper. So just imagine you wearing that same size pamper. If I, because I know I have some people that are technical. Well, not everybody wear clothes. Okay, well, you had some type of covering as a child. Just imagine for a second, as an adult, you wearing that in that same size. Just imagine. It no longer served you once you grew. Even pamper sizes change as the child grows. So as we grow, no matter what that growth looks like, we have to let some things go. We have to get used to new ways of operating. We have to get used to new ways of thinking, because as you age, you mature. That is the thing that we do. And so when I'm talking about manifesting differently, or and time to rebuild better, what is something that we all need to pick? Okay, well, what is the most thing that somebody hates? Let me grasp onto that, and I'm going to tackle this and this and this and this and this. And they're not even going to worry about this because, they're not going to really read into it. They're only going to see this one main thing that I know that they dislike. That's why sometimes I get very leery when there's a lot of surveys that's going out and it's not a national survey. Who is this group that's taking the survey? Why do you want to know what my experience is like in America? Or because I'm this age group? What is the purpose of this survey if you're not going to create a change? Now, that is not disregarding the census, because the census really does take that information, which is important for you to take it, mind you, because they take that information to see what you have to know. You have to learn what is beneficial for everyone. We can't be so me all the time. We have to see what is good for the bigger picture. And the only way to do that is to connect with people. And in America, we have done a piss poor job of understanding other people's needs. We have one set of people, one way of thinking to make decisions for everybody without everybody's input. And they say, oh, but the people, we've elected officials that are in our favor. Depends on which side of the coin you're on, right? And when they make these sort of decisions for us, some people say, oh, well, they in office now, they can do what they want. No, that's when somewhere I'm going to be standing outside of your office door until we talk about the changes that need to be made. History will tell you that change came by being radical. Now, I'm not saying radical as in destruction. I mean radical as in no. We tired of eating in the back of the restaurants. We gonna come here and sit in the front with y'all until y'all decide to serve us just like you're gonna serve everybody else. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna continue to get my $10.50 for this hamburger meal, and I got to eat by the trash can. Oh no. Or I have to go. You want me to go to this facility, and you would rather for me to drink out of a rusty pipe? No. And people say, well, oh, that's in the past. It don't exist anymore. Yeah, but just because you what's the just because you replace the eraser head doesn't mean that the original eraser isn't underneath. I'm really seeing a mask, but I don't know what to call it, so I'm just using the eraser method. So all of you know, like the pencil comes with an original eraser, but if you want to preserve that eraser, you put on another eraser on top of it. But just because you say, oh, well, it's offensive to use the pink eraser, so I'm going to put the blue eraser on instead, doesn't mean that it's an actual change. It's still the same eraser underneath. You're changing stuff on the surface level. It's not a true change. It's that oh, I'm gonna do a makeover. I'm gonna give myself a makeover. Okay, well, baby, if the problem wasn't in your makeover, if it was something in your heart that you needed to change, no matter what expensive dress or what expensive lines of hairs you put on your head, it doesn't matter what the barber does for you. It doesn't matter how many three-piece suits you put on. If your heart isn't changed, you're still the same sourpuss that was wearing the shirt with the holes in it and the jeans that were dingy because you had no place to change them in. So, sometimes change is an internal thing, which means you have to go deeper to solve the problems. And so when you're manifesting change, you have to understand that the manifestation may need to be, okay, I want to manifest what is the root of this problem so that I what type of help was being served for the people that were affected by the shootings on July 4th. And the cop began to say, "Oh yeah, they're going to meet at the local high school for anybody that was there that was directly impacted by 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 the shootings and mentally or physically impacted." And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of set with me wrong because I said, how many times have we had, and this was for school, for the shooting on July 4th, but I'm like, how many times have we seen it when there's a school shooting? They send out the psychiatrists and the therapists um, to go help settle some trauma, and we put them in a cell, and we say, when you come out, I expect you to change. But yet, when they go to prison, there is no therapy offered. There is no life-changing anything's happening in there. You're in a box, and you're put in the same cell with the same type of people that you just left from the street. You literally went from the street to a cell with the same type of people, with the same types of minds, with the same types of issues, and you're expecting people to change. Where's the real reform? So maybe let's manifest new programming for people that is going to actually cause true change and true mental liberation and true heartbreak freedom. Let's talk about manifesting true needs of the people of the United States or wherever you are. Because I will say this, there have been times I have noticed that my videos get sent out to people all over the world. So I'm not even going to just limit this to the United States. Wherever you are, know that you can manifest something different. Talk to whoever you believe in, because I'm not here to judge anyone's religion. Um, put out there, because manifestation is a faith thing, and we all have some sort of faith that we believe in, something that we hold on to that says, I'm going to make it to the next day, or I'm going to make it. Like, I'm not going to always be in this situation. And when you get there, you're like, oh wow, I really did that. So whatever that is for you, manifest your solution to whatever problem that you're in right now. Even if you don't know what the problem is, start manifesting the actual problem or the actual knowledge of the problem. I don't know what the problem is, but Lord, I need you to help me see what the problem is that's wrong with me. I feel like something is off, but I don't know what that off is because I'm not looking on the outside of me. And the next thing is, when somebody is sent your way and they tell you what it is, the first sign that that is the problem is that you get offended. If you know that you have a problem with telling the truth because you're scared of repercussions, don't get mad when somebody say, "Oh, you just a liar and you need to stop lying." Well, baby, when you're not telling the truth, when you're shaving the truth off, that's what we call a lie. It's not the truth. If your truth is you have a backache, but for appearance reasons, you're going to say, "Oh, it's nothing wrong. Oh, it's nothing wrong. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm good." Like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Ooh, and you wait till everybody leave and you go, "Oh my gosh, my back was killing me." And she said, "Okay." All day. And then about, I would say half the year goes by and I started self out with the problem through more. I'm not anymore. I'm not going to be in this dark place. I'm not going to walk around with my everything in the walls and which direction. I took the blinders to get out of this. If not, it to wake up every day this. And the minute I start coming out before, and your eyes, they're different. Your hair, me, Brian, when I first, she said you had this look, and it's like the light was out of your eye, that that's not who you were. She said, but today I can act in your eyes. I'm glad to see it. And like say, like you talk about it, it's best to say you don't want to talk about it whether everything's okay. Okay tonight to tell I'm having a horrible day. Okay to I'm not up for any type of conversations. I just want to stay in bed. That's what you're doing. They'll know to leave you alone or to give you the right amount of space. Or if you hear somebody say that, make sure you give them a right amount of space. Not enough, like what they say, not enough rope to hang themselves, but enough rope to let them breathe. But that also means you have to let people in to help you with the changes. Because again, if someone is being sent to you, more than likely they have a piece of what you need for the solution. They have a piece of that manifesting thing that you wanting to manifest. They have a piece of that solvent. And we can do it. We hear about things being manifested all the time. And some people may say, oh, it's just pure luck. Okay. Well, if it's just pure luck, what you got to lose in trying to manifest something? What do you have to lose? Try it at least once. And like the movie title, I looked up and the title says for one night. Even if it's for one night, try to manifest something for one night and see if it happens. And it's not, and manifestation is not the, oh, I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. Oh, I want to win the lottery. Oh, I want to. No. You got to have intentions. And you have to be direct. You have to, if you know that you have and 16 with white leather interior, that's what. Oh, I just want a car all white with interior. So if somebody drives up to you with that, instead of 16 model that you bring you 1,000, I don't know, Camry, all white, with all white, like that's not what I'm specific. Just like your burger, when you have to be specific things out in relationships too, because I know I have a lot of friends and we always talk about dating. And they're just like, oh, I just want a man this, or I just want a girl that does. Okay. Describe your person. Who is it that you picture laying next to you at night? Who is it that you picture that you want to propose to at night? And if you know the person and they are in distance to you, like I would say, I'm not talking about like physical distance. I mean, if there's a way that you can connect with this person, manifest a meeting. You can't look from afar and say, oh, I like this person. Oh, one day, hopefully, oh, no, hopefully this person will contact me. Hopefully this person would do this. Listen, we all live our lives. I promise you, we are all doing something different. We are caught up with our day-to-day lives. If you see someone from across to that self, manifest a manifest conversation is by sometimes you have to be the person say, hello, how are you? Or I was watching something and it reminded me of you. Or, because sometimes you can watch some things or listen to music and it reminds you of somebody. It's nothing wrong with telling someone that because it's a compliment. Now, if it's something like, oh, I saw a mashed potato, somebody had potatoes stuck on the bottom of their shoe and it reminded me of you, then I'm gonna have questions. Baby, what does somebody stepping on a potato remind you of me? Now please explain. Now, if you're a comedian and you can pull that out and out the hat and y'all can roll with it, then I mean, by all means. But I promise you, don't come up with off the wall stuff. Let it be something legit. Because if you again, if we talk about manifesting something good, because I mean, if you come up with something like that, I promise you're gonna manifest a slap or a blocked, and that's not what you want. And the other thing about that is that you have to sometimes manifest courage within yourself, especially if you're a fearful person. If you're a person that's always, if you have the fear of rejection, you have to manifest courage so that when you come into the scene, when it's your time to hit the ball, that you don't go in and you miss the ball because you too scared that the ball's gonna hit you. You're going to manifest a home runs that when I hit this ball, it's going to go out the ballpark, and everything that I wanted to manifest is going to happen because this is how I see fit. Because I'm letting go of fears, I'm letting go of things that don't serve me, and I promise you again, all of this have been on my mind. It came in different forms, but it all is the same. If we want our living situations to be different, if we want our communities to be different, we have to manifest better things. You know, I would hope that my senator, that my governor, that my state officials will waken up and then be enlightened to what is actually happening in neighborhoods as opposed to what they think is happening. How many times have we seen those memes or those pictures that somebody say, what my friends think I do, what my families think I do, what my jobs think I do, versus what I actually do? Those were three different perceptions. You start manifest actually happen. Manifest a meeting with that senator or that governor and actually write that letter or research a list of I'm not going to say demands, but of needs and wants, and the wants that are connected to the needs of people. And how about you manifest a team that can go with you? And if you're not a good writer, but you know it, how about you manifest a partner that can write for you? Even in the biblical scripture of Moses, Moses wasn't a good speaker, but he had Aaron, his brother, that could speak for him, that could be his mouthpiece when he wasn't led to speak. Um, and so you can manifest a whole team to take up the lack that you have, and y'all can get whatever that main goal done. You can get it done to the point where when people say, "Oh wow, I remember this person used to be flipping burgers at Burger King. Now they're a whole senator. How did that happen?" Well, they start manifesting their needs and their wants in the right way and start putting it in the hands of the right people, which they also manifested. And then they also manifested better education and better knowledge as to what they needed to do to get to from A to B to C to Z. And one of the prime examples is one for the Fight for 15. If you don't know what that is when a lot of minimum wage jobs said that the minimum wage should be at least $15. Uh, and there are some companies that did go up starting at a base of 15 and some went higher. And I applaud them for that. But if you look, there is this lady out there from Durham, North Carolina, named Miss Cookie, who had been working for restaurants for some time. I don't know the exact time, but I actually know her personally. And we have often talked about the changes and the things that she had to go through. And so I hadn't talked to her. So I just knew that she was doing the work for the Fight for 15 And I'm sure she went home and prayed and said, Lord, something's got to change. Something has got to get better. And to the point where she believed, oh, I believe that something is going to get better. And her prayers actually were answered through her, because what she prayed went out to God, and God said, you know what? I want it to first manifest in you. I need you to first believe that you actually going to be able to do this. The first step in any faith walk is you making the first move. So when her prayers was finally answered by her making the first moves, she is now on national platforms. I got wind of it from a video, and I was like, oh, let me check this video out. And here it is on Instagram on a national platform from somebody in Arizona and another person from Washington, D.C. that says, oh, I love Mama Cookie. Mama Cookie tells it to you right. Mama Cookie is so much fun to be around. And I'm like, you're talking about the same Mama Cookie that I've known for years. For years. And to see her being on a national platform amazes me. But it's because she manifested something new. She believed in what she wanted to happen. It's Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream all over again. I'm sure he didn't think that he would die. I'm sure that he thought that he would be in the land of the living to see it. But the thing is, again, we have to be specific in how we want to manifest something. Because when he manifested, he said, I have a dream. I want to see people actually united of all down the street, being one. And we don't have that wolves all still holding on to this, they're holding the hundreds. That's to believe control over this, then fine. But really the base of control, if you don't, that's the answer. Because I get things that you're controlling, there's a fear there. There's a fear of situational. I can't even give an example because it's different situations. Whatever you feel like you gotta control, I can people go in and out of my life. I don't have to worry about me popping off. But fearful popping off to the point where you off at them. Use your voice, punch you. I'm gonna do something to your face. And then once you figure the healing, so that, oh child, I don't care if no people talk to me no more. It's just wind coming out their mouth. It don't have nothing to do with me. I'm Gucci. I mean, I know some people that still use that. That's why I said that. But what we have to do is we have to stop letting the small stuff distract us from what's happening, because there are a lot of small things that happen in our lives that distract us from what the real problem is. And when we figure out what the main problem is, that big problem, all the small stuff stop, because we don't pay it attention anymore. We say, yeah, you do this, yeah, you do that, but I'm fine. Like I don't need to do that anymore. I'm a different person. And I know there's people that say, I want to be different. I want to do things differently. But you got to manifest by making some movement. Manifesting something is an actual, manifesting isn't, or to manifest is an action word, meaning you have to do something. If you want to manifest, that means it has to do something, right? So let's make it happen. Let's make the earth shake. Let's shake up some situations. Ooh, she's shaking the table, right? And when she shook the table, things was moving, things were shifting. It wasn't just words, it was an actual shift. And even in that situation, for those who know the reference, if you know the situation, look at how things escalated. Things changed when she shook that table. Words was exchanged when she shook that table, meaning that it wasn't the same anymore. Something had to be shaken up because something needed to be said. Something had to be done. Something new had to be manifested. So let's manifest the right way. Let's stop taking things as is. Let's stop taking things as they come for, okay, well, I guess this is what the universe wants. No, the universe is always going to serve you something small until you say, okay, I'm tired of taking this. I'm tired of eating the breadcrumbs from underneath the table. I want to be sitting at the table, eating the full steak, eating the full loaf of bread that comes with it, or the bread cut, whatever, however. I want to be eating the potatoes and the grains or what have you on top of the table. I'm tired of getting the leftovers. I'm tired of eating the scraps. Manifest something new, manifest something that you want to be seen differently. To put things into perspective, and this is a true story. I used to go to the detention center with my mom and teach Bible study to the inmates, and whatever is given to me, I say it. I information. And I left area a little over an hour. This is like almost at a year. I sees me up. And he was like, I'm like, do I know you? He was like, man, you know me from. You know me from the detention center. I'm not gonna say the name, but he said the name. He said, you know me from the detention center. He said, I want y'all to know this man right here, whatever he say is the truth. This man told us one night about if we want to get out of prison, we have to see ourselves outside of the bars. And I remember everything he's saying. I remember when I said it. I remember the people that I saw in the room. He was like, he told us we have to see outside of the bars. He told us that we have to see what we're going to do once we get outside of the bars. And we have to focus on that thing, because in it, that's when our faith will activate, because it's more than just that one thing and the end all be all. He said, look, man, I'm out. He said shortly afterwards, he said maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after you left, I got called up. I had a court date and they allowed me to go home. And he said, and then I remember what you said about staying around the same people, doing the same things will only make me go back there. He said, you see where I'm at? I had to leave. He said, and I for myself. He said, you know what? Tell me about this place. I came to home. He did, but he did. He said, and words, and I applied it. I'm going to say thing to you. What do you see yourself? And when it's coming in, don't just say, I was in a bigger house, but you may be renting a room in a bigger house. Be specific. And I want my neighbors to be good people. I want us to have the type of relationship where, although they are that far, have good, I can call on them whenever I need them. I want my neighbors to feel nice people and blessed people, that we don't have any problems. If any problems, we just back. Take me to one that will not break down on me. That is going to be off the lot. I'm the one that put them out. Manifest a job that's going to maintain this thing, and I'm going to maintain that me any problems, and it me to grow in the company. I'm a true relationship that now that that we have such an awesome bond, and that when I pour into me, I love manifest that. Once we really know who we are, fights, I know that even I'm going to love you, and you're going to still plan vacation together. You have to be. So let's do it differently, people. Let's do it with healing. Let's do it with this. Let's do it with blessing. Over watch how God works it out for you. He works it out for you. Or how God. Spirit will blow your mind if they itself form you. We can't even maintain it. We can't even. What Beyonce says too. He walks like this because he can back it up. That's spirit all day long. And that's the other thing. People put limits on spirit. If spirit is big and wide and you can't see it, you can't physically hold on to it. Why are you putting physical limitations on the spirit? For those of you who have seen ghost stories and you know how the ghost fades in and fades out, or if you've seen a ghost or a spirit in real life, you know that you see it 1 minute and then the next minute you gone and it didn't open the door or it didn't come out the window. Baby, that's something beyond your control. That's something you can't, we can't even do that in the physical. So why are we trying to put limitations on things like that? Why are you trying to put limitations on what you're trying to manifest? Think big, think out the box. I had a teacher once that told me to never stop thinking outside of the box, and I promise you I haven't. If y'all hear some of the ideas that come in my friends look at me and say, you want something. You want a whole nother level. You in the clouds, or you in the you in outer space right now. I need you to come back to earth. That's how my mind works. I don't think big. And we're saying, oh, this, Brian, we ain't got no money for that. We don't have, maybe when we get money for it, we could do that. But right now, where we are now, okay. So then my mind, I have to do, and it applies from your deceased. Anytime somebody has ill with somebody, the minute that they pull the trigger, that the gun jams, that they can't fulfill what they were planning to do. Let's manifest that. Let's manifest protection over everybody that's connected to us, whether we're related to them or whether it's just a working relationship, whether we barely know them, but we see them every day. Let's start manifesting protection over each other. Not only protection over our physical bodies, but our minds and our spirits, because there's some things that can disrupt our spirit that will, from the inside outside, will disrupt our lives. And we don't know what that is. And the only way we can do this, people, is if we just start manifesting the right way. Stop putting your oh, I believe this, and oh, I wish that this, but no, let's stop wishing. Let's manifest. Okay, wishes are for the little babies. Let them wish. Let them continue to wish, but let us start manifesting. And if you are a child and you're listening to this, let's start manifesting. You can manifest too. There's some things, and I'll even share this. When I was a kid, I used to say, I have money in my pocket. I have money in my pocket. I used to just randomly say that. And you know what? People will randomly come, oh my gosh, I like your smile. Here's $5. Oh, I like your smile. Here's $10. My mom would look at me, why are people walking up giving you money? Because I say I got money in my pocket. I'm manifesting money. And people come and give me money just for me being me. God was letting me know then that you can manifest what you want. You just have to be intentional about it. If you say, I will never be broke again, you better be specific. Because that means you can have a penny in your pocket. That's not being broke. You got 1 cent. But if you say, my bank account will never have anything less than 100 grand in it, baby, watch how much money start flowing in. And as I'm talking to y'all right now, no, I'm speaking to myself right now, because I'm like, ooh, I really do need about 100 grand to do a few of my projects. But, I do want to say this in closing. Make sure that you go out there and manifest the right way. Stop manifesting things that are beneath you and that don't serve you anymore. Okay? You all have my connections. So let's talk. Let's talk about that. I want to hear some blessings. Let me know what kind of blessings you got coming your way because you have manifested. You all have a nice night. Be blessed.